Hey everyone, welcome to Team Forbidden's YouTube page again. Andrew the Collector here. Today we're going to do something a bit different. Jared, come in here.
Oh. Hi.
For those of you who probably already know this guy, this is Jarek, now known as the Illustrator, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I've known this guy for roughly 16 years, and we share a lot of different ideas when it comes to deck building. And today one of the common ideas that we had were Musketeers. So I guess you could say that this was a culmination of both of our ideas, because he provided the cards and I provided the deck building for it. So Jarek, thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Cool. All right. So with that, how about we just get into the profile?
I'm gonna go this way.
So we're going to start out with the best Musketeer, three Magical Musketeer Casper. So the main gimmick of Magical Musketeers is that while they're on the field, you're able to activate Quick Play and trap Musketeer cards from your hand while they're on the field. So you basically don't have to worry about any back row removal. And they're also a column mechanic, so if a spell or trap card is activated in the same column that they're in, they get their main effects off. So Casper's main effect is that he is able to search out a Musketeer card, which makes him the best one. Up next is 3 Starfire. She's the second best one because her main effect is that when a card is activated in her column, she can special summon one from her deck. So if you have her, you summon her out. Use her effect to get out Casper and make your plays from there. The third best would be Kid Brave. When a card, his main effect is that you can draw 2 and then discard 1. Then we have Magical Musketeer Doc. His main effect is that you can recur from your graveyard by adding a Musketeer card from your graveyard to your hand. We have 1 Calamity, which is a monster reborn from the graveyard. And then we have 1 Wild, which is basically your Pot of Avarice, only is you shuffle 3 Musketeer cards back and draw 1. So I think this ratio is pretty good. You could change out Wild and Calamity for any other cards that you want, since they are kind of the lower end of them, because you really want to keep the ratio of this, because you get your recursion from Doc and your consistency with all the other ones. But if I had to say keep one of these, I would say keep Wild, since he can technically recur your resources back. But again, it's up to personal preference. Then we're going to have 1 Chaos Hunter. I am main decking this because it is going to be essential in the upcoming format. Because preventing your opponent from banishing your stuff is going to be crucial, especially since Dimensional Shifter is going to be running all over the place. Because with this deck, you really don't want your stuff banished. You want to keep recurring your resources for him. So I figured a monster that is easily special summonable and pretty much an Iron Wall and legs is good. And then 3 Ghost Ogre, which is also going to be good in the upcoming format because a lot of it'll stop a lot of your opponent's plays, especially the Adventure Package. The Adventure Package is just so busted, and you want to have this for when, unless it gets hit on the next list, you want to have this at your disposal. But if you want, you can change it out for Ash Blossoms, Effect Failures, whichever hand traps that you choose. Now off to the main, off to the spells, we have 3 Magical Musketeer Cross Domination. It's like I said, you can while you have a Musketeer monster on your side of the field, you can activate these from your hand during your opponent's turn. So this one's effect is that you can target 1 card your opponent controls. Its effects are negated and its attack and defense becomes 0, so that's good interruption. And then 2 Steady Hands. This one doubles your Musketeer monster's attack and defense. So just good to get over problematic monsters. And since we want generic cards to activate so that we can trigger our Musketeer monsters, we have 3 Forbidden Chalice, 2 Forbidden Chalice, 2 Regeki to bait out negations, 1 Upstart because it's at 1, 1 Call by the Grave, also known as Begone Demon Child because it's also at 1, and 1 Pod Desires. I know that this card is at 2, but I only like running 1 of it in this deck because, like I said, you really don't want to get rid of too many of your resources. They are just way too valuable. But sometimes the extra draw 2 can come in handy. Now off to these trap cards. 3 Magical Musketeer Desperado. When it's activated, you pop a card your opponent controls. It's as simple as that. Last Stand, you can basically negate your opponent's spell and trap effects, and it's a counter too, which you can activate from hand. So that's that's really busted. 1 Dancing Needles, especially with tier elements coming up, you want to use this effect so that way you can banish their shit, so it's hard for them to use their fusion summon effects. And 1 Magical Musketeer Fiendish Deal. It's a continuous trap to protect your Musketeer monsters from being destroyed by card effects. And then 1 Solemn Warning because we want to negate our opponent's summons. And I am main decking Dimensional Barrier because this is just a blowout card to any deck that doesn't use Link monsters, especially again like tier elements for their fusions or sprites with their Exceed monsters. So I definitely think that this is main worthy in the right deck. Now off to the extra deck. The only one that you really need is Magical Musketeer Max. His material is just one Magical Musketeer monster, and when he's summoned, depending on your opponent's board, you can special summon Musketeer monsters from your deck to your side of the field equal to the number of spell and trap cards that they have, or add Magical Musketeer spells and traps from your deck to your hand equal to the number of your monsters they control. It's busted. It's the one thing that this card needed in order to bring it up to pretty much bring it up a tier. But that's all I have for the extra deck, because you don't really go into your extra deck a whole lot because you want to keep your Magical Musketeers on the field to enable, so you can activate your spells and traps from the hand to interrupt your opponent's plays. But if you were to have anything for your extra deck, you could put in scapegoat targets that can go into your Appaloosa, your Boral Swords, Boral Load, or even your Avermax. So that's basically up to preference, but yeah. And that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys like it. Aside from the extra deck, with those changes, let me know what you guys think. And until then, we will catch you guys later.